What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 321. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm scared to go out my front door without him.
This week we watched fucking Beau is fucking terrified. Help me. Do you know what the director said about this movie? How he explained it? I thought this was hilarious. I laughed so hard when I heard him say this. He said, "It's the Jewish Lord of the Rings." That's what he said. I was like, damn, that's funny.
I mean,
Wow.
He's not wrong.
He also said it was a movie about a guy that just really needed to come.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I noticed those nuts when he was in the shower or the bathtub. I was like, why is his balls that big?
Yeah.
Ain't normal.
Because he never, ever. I
don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, right now. But, I mean, let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room here before we dive into it. Dick monster.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? Like, I was not expecting, like, the ending, I was like, okay, this makes sense. You know, it's getting weird.
He died, right?
Yeah,
he died when he had sex.
I mean,
and it just went off the rails. Yeah, dude, he died, man.
I mean,
so all of a sudden, she just died and had fucking rigor mortis set in fucking matter of seconds.
I thought, well, okay, there's a couple of things here, right? So with him, I mean, yeah, technically, because he was being judged, right? So yeah, I guess him dying and everything, but like. At first, when I was watching this, I thought he was a clone. I thought that his mom was cloning this kid and fucking like just seeing how bad.
Especially when you see the timeline. When he gets to the house and it's like, Beau taking pills, Beau, security, you're safe. Like, it was like, what does she do to him?
Like Munchausen.
Yeah, this shit makes Mommy Dearest look like a river cruise, dude.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, she fucked him up. Like, she's like, your dad had sex and he died.
Yeah.
She just never wanted him to leave.
No.
So made him afraid.
Yeah.
Of everything.
Yeah. I mean,
made him a massive agoraphobic,
Massive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he lived in a sketchy part of the neighborhood, but
it wasn't that bad.
No, dude, all those people going into his apartment and the one guy just watching him.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is this all about?
Well, when he skirts across the street and it's going full free guy around him,
Yeah.
Well, when you first realize that he's sitting there talking to the therapist, and it's like, oh, by the way, have to mention this. On his cell phone, when his mom calls, it's July 11th, 2023.
I mean,
that's today. Ain't that weird how that lined up?
Yeah, pretty serendipitous.
We were supposed to watch it last week, but the 4th kind of pushed it back. But when I was sitting there watching that, I was like, I think that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I looked and I was like, whoa, it is. But like everything seems kind of normal. He's just like, yeah, Mama didn't love me or love me too much. And then when he leaves there, it's like, what? Like, just all the shit you see going on.
I mean, and whenever he sees that poster at the end, it shows the family, the family that he stopped at first.
It shows everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone he's had an encounter with.
Yeah.
Made up an image of his mother's face.
Yeah. And it's like, did any of this stuff really, really happen?
I think he was at a hospital.
Yeah, I mean, because...
Or something, right? Like, because it was a doctor, that was a nurse. There was other patients there that were clearly fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He had a fucking bracelet on.
Yeah.
A monitor thing. Maybe he's a flight risk. I don't know. But, like, when he hit his head, when he ran and hit his head, that's when it got trippy again.
Right.
Dude, when I felt weird for, like, 5 hours after this movie went off.
Yeah,
I just felt weird.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Just an uneasy, like, I even told my grandfather, I was like, I just saw one of the weirdest fucking movies.
Yeah.
Just
But the the themes, like just of like anxiety and depression, grief,
Yeah.
like feeling inadequate, like not living up to like what someone else wants you to be, and then finding out that that person's been like manipulating
Yeah.
you. Like
Well,
it's just
classic A24.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it,
I
it
mean,
is.
that's the
Yeah,
running thread through a lot of those films.
yeah, exactly. And the way that it's presented though is just so
As a comedy, it says comedy on there.
I didn't I didn't feel like it was a
There were
comedy.
funny moments, but
Yeah, but I felt bad for him. Like,
uneasy, dude. And how good was he at playing?
yeah, just this
Like whenever they
awkward.
were like, "Why'd you do that?" And he's like, "I didn't. I don't want to. No,
Yeah,
I just." I was like,
yeah,
"Damn, dude, give him a break, dude." When he was in that bathtub and looked up, and that
yeah.
dude was like, "Help me, help me, help," and I was like, "What the fuck is happening? How do you stick
Yeah,
a shoe in a monitor?
I don't know.
That wasn't real."
Yeah, and how did it still work? He plugged it back up, and it's still like it's just a fever dream, dude. It's a 3 hour like
Well, like even
mommy
when he's not out
son.
of it,
Yeah,
he's still there. Everything around him was just chaos.
yeah, yeah.
Heavily medicated. Well, it made me
Absolutely.
wonder, like, sitting there watching that, I was like, man, there's people that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
to us, we're like, they're crazy.
But they're
But to
just
them, it's
trying to.
real.
Yeah, they're just trying to
I
navigate
couldn't
life.
imagine.
No, dude, not at
I've
all.
got anxiety, but it ain't nowhere near,
Not that level.
no.
No, dude,
I would
that's
never leave my
next
house
level. No.
ever. I'd probably move out of the city. That'd be a good start for him.
Yeah. Get somewhere quiet, alone. And then putting him on trial at the end. That to me was like, because it was already bad enough. She faked her death. The therapist was working for her the whole time, calling her, giving her updates, sending her recordings and shit. Like,
I don't think none
it's
of that was
just,
real. Like
I
after
mean,
I think he died, man. Well, dude, as soon as he's banging that chick, and that was wild. Mariah Carey's
yeah,
playing. Uh, hang on, I got to restart it.
yeah, right.
And I'm sitting there seeing those big old nuts, and I was like, I don't think that condom's gonna hold that load. Even she was like, you blew right through the plastic, the bag.
Yeah,
But he busts a nut, looks up, she's dead. He
yeah,
pushes her off. Then all of a sudden, his mom's there. That snap of the fingers. So is that's when it gets weird again.
yeah, yeah.
But it's like, did he even bang her?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, his mom was dead.
I don't know. It's just, and it doesn't, I mean, it really doesn't matter. You know what I
Well,
mean?
whenever
Like,
the mom shows up, that's when it's like, oh, you want to know the truth about your dad? Let's go look
yeah,
at the dick monster. It goes off the rails again. I think he
yeah,
died, man. And that was just the end of
yeah.
that was his DMT trip.
Well, and the question is like, what if his entire everything that we saw was him, like none of that was real. None of it.
That was
Like
just the way
the
he coped with it.
well, like he lives in a small room that by himself. Everybody around him is fucking insane, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he sees the world full of crazy people. He goes and talks to a therapist, doesn't have a job. He doesn't have, you know what I'm saying? And what if and with the story time and the way that everything lines up, it's like what if like all of this that happened, all of everything that happened was like him in a mental institution from the get-go and him basically going from situation to situation is just him going from room to room. Like he's going to get water. He thinks everybody's out to get him. He
Yeah.
goes, he gets the water. Medicine, blah 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 blah. Whenever he goes to the family's house, that's just another room that he walks into where you
Yeah,
have the
they were
doctors.
definitely like medical
Yes, yeah,
staff. And the girl
yeah,
was crazy.
yeah.
The other
And then
guy
like
was like,
when they move to like the scene in the woods with like the play that's playing out, it's like, okay, maybe they were either, maybe all of the people in this, like, mental institution
Yeah.
were
When he
watching a
gets knocked out.
movie. Yeah,
And then he
they were
wakes
watching
up there.
yeah. And
You
it's
remember
like,
when she said channel like 75 or something?
yeah,
And he
yeah,
goes there and he fast forwards. Well, you
yeah, and
see
shows
him.
everything.
Yeah, it doesn't show that shit in the woods. It just shows him hit his head. Then he walks up to the road. All that
Yes.
stuff was just not there. But then I'm over here like, whenever he was in the woods with those people, I was like, is this his way? Is this some elaborate scheme that some very rich person has paid a lot of money to like bring this dude back to, hey
Yeah.
man, we're trying to get you back to reality.
Right.
I started thinking, did he marry the woman? Does he have kids?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought they
Like
were trying to pull him out of some,
some deep
you had
psychosis
some mommy
shit.
issues, then your mom died,
Yeah.
and you never
Hmm.
worked it out. So, but
Yeah,
he was
I
like,
think
this is my story. And then they were like, he's like, oh, I can't have, And then it's like, oh, so you're not her dad. It was like, what? What is happening?
well, in a lot of like TV shows, movies, and everything, they depict Jewish mothers very like
Yeah.
overbearing, to a
Mm-hmm.
degree. And it seems like this movie tried to capture how that, you know, how it can cause pretty crippling side effects in the development of a human being. And not just like from a religious or ethnic standpoint, just in general. Because I mean, like all the metaphors are there. Like, the dad's literally a dick.
Yeah.
Like, the mother kind of had control over his life. It caused him to just more or less be kind of a bit of a shut in, like y'all brought up throughout. And
Well, it just
I
made him
mean,
scared of everything.
I feel like it was a lot simpler to where it was just like this dude's just really dealing with some baggage. I really like the sequence though, whenever it was jumping through different like animated worlds and stuff, and
Yeah.
the
When it was the man
narration.
looking for his family, and
Yeah, it's like you'll live
it
many
was cool.
lives,
Yeah.
you'll travel many miles and all that stuff. I always like weird, ominous stuff like that.
Well, that was kind of cool. Like, um, traveling music. Like, well, it was wow, we're just like gypsies that put on a production in the woods. The guy chasing him, I think that was like a security guard or something.
Yeah. Right.
Well, he had the tracking thing. Oh, and when that he's like, "Are you my dad?" and he just blows
Yeah.
up. It's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck, dude? Like, the dude was probably after him, but it wasn't as extreme.
Right.
Like, whatever pills they were giving him, it didn't work.
No,
I mean,
dude.
he clearly suffered from paranoid delusions.
Yeah, dude, that's me getting ready to go somewhere. Fuck, grabbing all this shit, running back. Did I lock the door? Did I not?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what was crazy was he grabbed the floss and then he didn't put it in the bag. And then he ran out there and went back and got it. It's like, dude, just get some more. Fuck it. Somebody stole my keys.
Yeah, it was it it's very interesting to look at someone tackle an issue like that from such like a whimsical like perspective, if that makes sense, because like it's so over the top that they try to, it's like, the writer director wanted to like bring the seriousness of like what legitimately happened to this dude his entire life, kind of bring it down a little bit in a very like Terry Gilliam kind of way, right?
Yeah.
And then have it be explored in that manner. But like whenever you sit there and like peel it back, it's like he was so fucked up. Like,
Miserable.
I mean,
yes,
he lived in a bubble of damn it.
yeah, and I mean, overbearing parents and like dealing with overbearing parents is one thing, but dealing with an overbearing parent to that extent I can't even imagine what kind of psychological harm that it would cause to some. Like, you have to imagine whenever it shows him as a kid and he meets the girl,
Mm-hmm.
on the ship and everything, you have to imagine that if she is who she says she is, right? Like, if that's real, and if, him as a child, like that whole experience was real, then you have to imagine that, like, to me, the way that I kind of interpreted that whole situation was like, she's on the boat. She makes more than enough money for them to get their own rooms. Why are they sleeping in the same bed together? And not only that, but it seems like the boat was surrounded by people that they knew. So first question is like, did that even really happen? Was he already inside of a mental institution there? Or are we just seeing this spiral of like overbearing start to kind of sink its heels in and take control? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the latter.
it's just kind of a peep into like what happened to start this chain
Well, the
reaction.
reason that we see that is he sees that photo
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
in the
That's right.
drawer,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
flashbang. It's like weird. His mom
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. You could probably match her energy. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's like, bro,
Cutting him
like,
down, dude.
yeah, dude. It's
Well, when that girl came in there and was like, they're taking me away, and it's
mm-hmm.
because she was flirting with the boy. The mom was, they were having him removed. I mean, the mom was some CEO of a big company. And then the girl works for her later. What?
Yeah, that was kind of a weird, and I didn't even know if that was real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like
Like,
I think while it's exaggerating in a lot of senses or in a lot of scenes, um, I think it like one thing Joaquin Phoenix is good at doing, clearly, he's the go-to guy for depicting mental illness. Um,
He's pretty
like
good at it.
I mean, he's played someone with pseudo Balbar effect when he played Joker. Uh, I mean, God, I mean, spin the wheel for this movie, and I just I think the stuff that we saw, like it just weaved in and out of reality. Like what happened happened, but the parts that you were able to go, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I like the dude's style. Like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
I put, because, same dude that did Midsummer did this. And if I had to put this up against Midsummer, like, Midsummer's more accessible,
Sure.
of course, because it's more of like a traditional, horror with, relationship drama kind of sprinkled
It's
in
very
there.
linear.
Yes, yes. This is like a diamond.
Dude,
There's different facets.
the way he was able to tie the shots together and just the
Yes.
wow, just how do you come up with some of that shit, Like,
Well,
just
from
wow. Like,
what I've read, he wrote Beau is Afraid before
oh,
Midsummer,
that's like a
before
10-year-old script.
yes,
They even
yes.
changed the name. It was a Boulevard of Disappointment for a long time, but
Yeah.
copies of the script made it on like 4chan or something. So they changed the name so people wouldn't know it was the same movie. The other name choice that was on the clapper when they were filming was Mona's Choice, like Sophie's Choice, but his mom.
Wow.
Yeah. But just like, when he's going to the hall, like to his house, and the walls, like, anal fuck to death. Just
Yeah.
there, I was like reading that wall, like, whoa, what is this fucking?
Yeah.
The little
What is
details and stuff.
yeah. Yeah. I really did enjoy it. I like the dude's style. I like how he's tackling like serious issues in a very unique kind of way. I know that it's not anything like necessarily new or cutting edge or anything like
I
that,
mean,
but it's
for a third film,
Yeah, I mean,
There's a whole lot of movie there.
I enjoyed it. Like, I wonder if like he felt like, because there are certain moments whenever you can resonate with this character, right? Because like he has this guilt,
100%.
that he's not there. He doesn't call enough. He doesn't go, he doesn't show up enough. Like he has this guilt. And I think that at a certain point in everybody's lives, then they have a similar guilt where it's like, you get into the motions, you get into the routine of life, you get into the routine of like, of everything that kind of like surrounds you, whether it be family or work or just a combination of all that stuff. And time just like slips
Well,
away.
next thing you know, it's 20 years later, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Wow, how fast it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think a lot specifically too, is it's that like part of your like that part in your life where
You start to
you're
realize
trying
that.
you're trying to do your own thing, but you feel bad for doing it, even though it's the natural order of things. Because obviously, with the mommy issues throughout the movie, like the guy clearly, I mean, even though it was overbearing, she took care of him. And then, naturally, when people get older, you kind of want to repay the favor. Like, let me take care of you for a little bit. Like, let me be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so different for every individual out there when that moment in their life comes. And when it does happen, there is a bit of, you know, pull, like a bit of a tug of war, because you still got to go on and do your own stuff, but you also want to be there for them. And it's finding the balancing act.
Yes, exactly.
And
Exactly.
this guy was deprived of any juggle training, like,
Yeah. Well, and it's like, like us, for example, like we have our lives, we have job, we have families, we have all this stuff. Like he's in this weird, screwed up situation to where like he doesn't work, he doesn't have a family, he's afraid of
No, dude,
everything.
he lays in that bed like that every day.
Yeah.
Karl Marx.
That's what he does.
Yeah. And that compounds on top of it because like, if I didn't have a job and responsibilities, then I would probably be more active, or at least I would like to think that I would be more active in like being around family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just be broke.
Yes, exactly.
For him, for Beau, is very much like his anxiety bred more anxiety to the point where it crippled him.
Yes, yeah.
Dude, that first act was. I
Was
was sitting in a
gold.
chair like, God damn, like this
Yeah.
dude's got to catch a break. I'm about to have a fucking panic attack. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just so
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And then finally, when it let off, I was like, oh fuck, thank God we're out of the apartment by ourselves. Wrong.
But it was really good. I really, really very much enjoyed it, and like I'm gonna revisit it again. It's probably not gonna be soon.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to go down that rabbit hole, right now, but like it's so there's a lot to unpack.
Dude, when it went off, man, for real. That's all I could. I was just thinking about.
Well,
What the fuck?
it's one of those movies as well where you this movie comes a little later in your film journey.
Yes. Oh
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Like if your thing is Fast and Furious and all the surface movie
No,
triple A
this ain't for
stuff, or
them.
this is not gonna.
They're gonna think it's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're not, they're not gonna be, they're gonna lose, it's gonna lose them quickly.
Yeah.
because
Fucking
it's because it's very like, while you can sit and peel the layers back and do all that thing with it and analyze the movie, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a 3 hour just dark psychological thing,
Yes.
and I don't know. You got to be at a certain place mentally by the time this movie's over to digest it. I think.
Yeah. I agree.
The Nathan Lane though. Somebody decided to sleep in today, you know?
That was a
Right.
surprise.
Yeah.
That was a surprising
Oh,
welcome.
dude, when he showed up, I was like, "Oh, thank God!" Like
Yeah,
maybe he'll,
right.
because I was just feeling a certain way. I think it was I ate something before I watched the movie. It shouldn't have.
Yeah,
I
and
took
you're
a
just like,
little
oh
too
my god.
much.
Yeah, having
I
a
was fucking
midlife
panicking,
crisis.
dude. Like I was like, we're not gonna make it through this movie. But when I saw his face, I was like, oh, Roger,
Yeah,
he's gonna save us, you know?
he did a great. I haven't seen him in anything in a while, and he did an amazing job.
Yeah, it's hard
That
to picture the
daughter.
other chick and not think of The Office.
Yeah,
But
right. Yeah,
she was like, don't
she.
incriminate yourself. And it's like, why is she
Yeah, what is
saying
happening
that? She
there?
was always trying to get little messages to him. Like,
And the daughter. Holy God!
whoa.
Whatever she gave him.
Oh, I didn't know he liked to get wet.
I
Dude, he
know.
was like, what's in that? He's like, we were in the same house. But she turned around and was like, what? With her
Yeah,
red eyes. I was like, ugh. They did a
yeah,
good job at capturing just, whoa. And then the way the sound was muffled, like somebody's talking to you, you can't hear it. Like,
yeah.
that was
You're like, what?
trippy.
I felt that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
She drank that paint.
oh my God.
Her
It's
body
like,
looked weird when that woman was trying to. I think it was a dummy.
yeah,
It just looked weird. The eyes looked weird, but
but I mean, me personally, I'm gonna give it a full star.
it's
I
same.
enjoyed it. I really liked it, and it's not, it's not as accessible as Midsummer. I don't think it's as good. Like I think it's close, but I don't think it's as good because like Midsummer dealt with some real topics, but like you caught a breather
Yeah.
whenever you watch. The only breather that you got here was like whenever they did the play thing.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, this is gonna be bad. Like you could just tell
Yeah.
leading up to it, like this is gonna be bad,
That when
so
he was sitting there looking at the coffin and laid down, he's like,
yeah.
okay, we can rest. We made it here. I'm like,
And
why
then
was the coffin open? Her head's gone. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? You wouldn't do
right.
that. That wouldn't happen. There wouldn't just be a
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
He was
And
like,
then
it's the
Dick
maid. You
Monster.
faked your death, dude.
That was him chained up there.
That's where I draw the line. When I
Like,
saw the Dick Monster, I was like, okay.
yeah.
I was on board with it. When I saw the Dick Monster, I was like, what the fuck? And it killed old fucking Jeeves.
Yeah, right. Right. But yeah, like the other person that was chained up in the
It was like a
attic.
skinnier version of him with long hair.
Yeah, it was like it was the version of him that would have existed if
He had a
she would
family.
like if he would have had a normal childhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like his normal like normalness was chained up there. And I mean, yeah. So,
That dude stabbed him and then stabbed him in his hand.
yeah,
It was like, at the beginning of
car
the
wreck.
movie, that's what it said. It said there's a naked man going around stabbing everybody. It was on the news.
Yeah, he's just out there just
Yeah.
fucking people
Dude, and
up.
that thing with the cop, I was like, fuck. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
frozen. I can't breathe. He's like, "Ugh." Like, it's like, well, to be fair, you are a naked man.
Yeah.
A naked, wet man running around outside with really big balls. But there's always crazy people running around naked outside. Like, checks out. Standard procedure.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, 2 stars. What do you think, Trav?
I'm gonna give it a half. It was good, but it was good in flux because there was a lot of downtime. I think the movie was also very bloated. It was like 30, like not 30 minutes, but it was like being 3 hours long. I felt like it could have told this story in under 2 hours or right at it.
It was long.
Um, but Joaquin Phoenix does a good performance.
Whoa.
And, I think the accessibility factor is, a lot too, but yeah, I give it a half. I definitely think it's worth 2.5 stars.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's more than it got online. It didn't get good reviews. Well, it was one of those things where, especially like, I could see like, look, I don't want to go to the theater and watch this movie. It's 3 hours. If I go to the theater, I want to see something like The Flash, Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoy this way more at home, and I could get it that people that went to the theater when this, went off, they were like, "What the fuck?" I mean,
yeah,
I gotta pee.
yeah,
You can't go pee because you might miss something. You come
yeah,
back, they're like, "You missed the dick monster." What?
yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Well,
big dick with big balls. It had fucking hooks like a.
yeah. I think there was a lot of people that were like, because I'm in an A24 group, like Facebook group, and then around the time this movie came out, there was a lot of people that were going and watching it because, of course, Midsummer, and they're like, "This movie's fucking garbage. Like, how can anybody like this movie? I fucking hated it. Blah 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 blah." And the reason that I wanted to watch it was because, like, okay, what's the deal, right?
Yeah.
Like, why does everybody feel this way about this movie here? Well, whenever you compare it to what he had done before,
Sure.
it's completely different because, like, Midsummer, there's an underlying shock value associated with that entire film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From the old people jumping off the mountain and committing suicide to how the deaths happen and the reveals and all that stuff happen. Hereditary, very much the same.
Mm-hmm.
This is like if Wes Anderson told a story about trauma.
And it had a little Aronofsky in there,
Yes, yeah, a
especially at
little.
the end.
Yes, yeah. So I understand where the people that were like into his previous works would be like, fuck that movie. But
Yeah.
like, that's why you have to go into a movie like just not
Can't base
expecting.
it off of.
Yeah, like
Also, he wrote these way before those. Something,
exactly. Yeah,
you
and
know,
it felt very
it
personal.
did feel personal.
Well,
So
I feel like abstract works because this movie had a more abstract feel to the other two. I think
yeah,
largely in part too as to why the other two films got such high praise because they were very much films that they went by a meter everyone was already familiar with.
yes, yeah,
Rising tension, you get to the climax and you have the aftermath, all that kind of good stuff. This had that, but it had a bunch of post-it notes on it while you did it too,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He even said, he tried to get this made and he's like, I was just ready to burn the script.
yeah,
So if it wasn't for Hereditary and Midsummer, I
yeah,
mean,
Well, and
after that, they were like, well, what else you got? What fucking,
he had to get to that level of I can make whatever movie I want now.
yeah.
yeah. So I'm excited to see what he's got in the pipeline. Like I do enjoy his style. I do enjoy his look, his direction, the whole nine yards. And I'm interested to see if he's going to continue like more of this. I guess you'd call it Wes Anderson, like Tarantino
Yeah.
esque route, where he writes, directs everything that he does, or is he going to? Is somebody going to offer him something that he can't? Because I think that if you offer him the ability to write a major property, I think it would be good, but I think it would be too weird for normal audiences.
I think
So
it'd have to be a weird property to begin with. It would have to be
yeah,
something that suits his style. It wouldn't,
yeah,
you wouldn't just hand this guy, a Disney script and go, all right, run with it, man. And he's like,
yeah,
do you know who I am?
yeah, right, yeah.
Um, but I would like to personally, I would like to see him do a science fiction movie.
Kind of like he. it feels like he would do a science fiction movie in the same way that dude did Arrival. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like it could. I feel like it could go two ways. It could go that route, or it could go. Man, what's that? It's where it would kind of like it would be him on a generation ship and the psychological effects that takes on him, which I know that's been explored a million times over. But I think an Ari Aster
Oh
version
yeah.
of it is absolutely welcome to the fold.
Yeah.
Or even better, have it to where he does his kind of like The Martian meets, you know, I guess because I saw the trailer for the poster, it's like it would be like The Martian meets Willy Wonka.
Yeah. Right.
Like you would have these moments where he's just alone on Mars in a little habitat or whatever. But like it cuts to what he's seeing in his mind's eye, and he's checked the fuck out.
Yeah. He's seen better days, you know?
Well, yeah, and not even like something super silly, but like he has like an out of body experience where he walks out of the hab and like instead of a barren wasteland, you see like Mars, but it's like green. There's grass, trees are growing, like
Yeah.
some oddball shit, and then like some weird three-legged rabbit comes up and goes, "Hey man, you should wake the fuck up right now." And then he wakes
Yeah.
back up in the hat, like
Yeah.
No, he's like,
some
"How did you get
oddball.
here?" Remember, people kept
Yeah.
asking him that in the movie.
Yeah,
How did
Yeah.
you
like
get
don't
here?
you? Yeah, that would be creepy because he would
Yeah.
have all this. I mean, maybe we should just write it and say we're Ari Aster, but whatever. But
I'm
no,
excited.
which with you guys talking about him doing an IP, I mean, that would be the next step. Well, one of the opportunities for a next step in solidifying like any kind of budget he would need for a film. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
have him slapped on to do one of these live action versions of whatever children's property or something.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, oh man, what if he did an all real monsters film?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see his take on some of the grim fairy tales. I
Oh,
think
I
that
mean, yeah.
that would
Well,
be.
who's the guy that did the Green Knight? Because he should do that shit.
Oh yeah, you're right. Or even dude that did The Witch and Lighthouse, Robert Eggers. Like,
Well, all of those guys, what dude? There should be. You know how they did Four Rooms back in the day with Tarantino and a couple other directors.
oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Do a film where it's these short films that does Grimm's fairy tales, but have these very popular A24 directors doing, a story or a chapter of movie.
yeah. Oh, I'd love that. That would be incredible. But yeah, Secret Invasion.
Yeah, we can't scroll past that.
Yes. 3 episodes in. This is what I'll say before we start hammering on everything. They should have released the first 2 episodes together as one episode.
Yeah.
That first episode was, I
Yeah.
mean, it was fine, but like that second episode really pulled everything together and started giving it some kind of like fluidity. And then of
Well,
course,
and then with Maria Hill getting shot was like, what?
yeah,
Colby.
exactly, right.
Trav, you even said something about that. It's like, it's better that you get to go in with both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, here's what I will like. I like what they're doing. I enjoy what they're doing. It's interesting that they're approaching like I like that they're approaching the scroll situation in this manner, like with a series. I think it makes more sense and I think that it is more valuable. But at the same time, like what is like they're working on the super scrolls, like that's gonna be a huge thing that I'm sure is gonna play some I have a feeling that this is gonna lead directly into the new Captain America movie in some capacity. Like Falcon Winter Soldier and this is going to kind of funnel straight into that. But Um, I just like if this ends on a cliffhanger where like some shit's about to go down and it gets resolved in the Captain America movie, I would be okay. Like I would almost prefer it in that way. You know what I mean? At least that's from my perspective.
Well, with
I,
what we've seen with the use of WandaVision and Loki for Doctor Strange and Ant-Man, I
yeah,
mean, I don't think you're far off from it. I think it, like the main conflict of getting Talos back in a leadership position is obviously going to be one of the things that happens,
yeah,
or at least at least dealing with uh Vizik, I think is his name.
yeah.
Um, dealing with him, but I mean, I feel like it might just jump straight to Secret Wars.
Well, and this is my question. Are they going to use the idea of the Mutant Registration Act in relation to the scrolls? Like, is that inevitably where it's going to kind of roll downhill to? Because in or whatever Civil War, they used the Sokovia Accords as like the make it. That was the line in the sand, and there was that we know how that played out. Um, but I wonder if they're going to use like have a registration type thing happen with the scrolls as an outcome of all this, and that lead into like an actual like civil war, or are we going to get the scroll Kree war, and like it's going to build up to that? Because I could see it honestly being either way. Um, but with the way that they're going about it and they're killing like as many humans as they're trying to kill, like that's not leaving a lot of good faith for the. I don't want it to end, and I don't want it to be like, oh well, there's some good scrolls and there's some bad scrolls, and we're just going to be. It's fine. The good ones are fine. The bad ones we'll put in prison. Like, you know what I mean? I don't. I don't really want it to go that route. I want it to be more impactful than that. You know?
Well, I feel like for the show, sadly, that's probably what we'll get
Yeah.
with with the caveat that it'll be ultimately answered during Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Um, but the reason why I feel like that it won't bleed too much into Captain America is just because there's so many Hulk side characters that's cast in that movie
Yeah.
that I can't help but think that that's going to be a build up for a Hulk event that they're going to do because if I'm not mistaken, the rights to the Hulk have finally left Universal. And if they have, that's a big deal
Right.
because if they brought Hulk back, like if they brought him back, that would revive the MCU back to its quote unquote glory days.
Yeah. That's it's going to be interesting how this plays out and how this factors in. It feels like a weird spot for them to release Secret Invasion. Like, am I the only one that feels that way?
Um, I think it's weird. I've always thought that it was weird that they decided to do Secret Invasion without like doing it post Endgame where we don't have Iron Man.
Yeah.
Um, I think I think in like the writers' room they were like, we haven't messed with Nick Fury in a while. Oh, fuck. I haven't written anything for the character. Um, let's just use Secret Invasion and throw him in it, and that's what they did.
Yeah. Well, and it's like the way that everything's kind of rolling right now. It's like, is Talos going to be the director of Shield and like also the leader of the Scrolls at the same like? It, are they writing Fury off now? It
Well,
feels like they're kind of going in that direction.
well, I had this thought at one point during one of the episodes. this show should have been the actual sequel to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, exactly.
And all you would have had to do is, which I still think the Nick Fury we've been following the whole time is a scroll.
You think he's still in space?
Yeah, because one thing that stood out to me is that when he lands on Earth, you don't get a look at the ship.
Yeah.
They don't show you who drops him off.
A lot of
And
budget.
well, of course you. That's
Yeah.
probably the absolute reality
They
of it.
spent the rest of
Yeah.
the money on that. That was not a good deep fake.
But
No.
not, but narratively speaking, it could also mean too, kind of in the same idea of like, you know, no one's dead until you see them bleed out on screen.
Yeah.
And when he lands on Earth, he's kind of like, oh hell yeah, like I'm here, I got my body, like all that.
Right.
So I mean, who's to say that there's not a version of Nick Fury that's on a ship in space that's like, what if Sword has already been compromised by a faction of Skrulls that already, that warped into orbit or something, like there's still a
Right.
lot of that aspect that we don't even know, the cosmic side of it, which I'm glad we haven't dealt with it that much. I've enjoyed this more or less just spy thriller type of thing,
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my working theory is that uh the Sam Jackson we've been following these 3 episodes is not the real Fury. He's a amnesiac Fury Skrull that forgot he was a Skrull, basically.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a possibility. Like
Because
at
he,
this
I
point,
mean, isn't he married? I mean, he's married to a Skrull.
yeah. How crazy would that be? Let's just talk about that for a second. They can look like whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it there. But anyway, um I've been enjoying it. Like it's hard. Here's the problem with Marvel in my opinion right now. It's hard to watch something like Secret Invasion and like enjoy it for what it is without trying to figure out exactly what it is all building towards in the grand scheme of things. Now,
Yeah.
there's certain shows that have came out like Moon Knight that have very much felt like its own thing. And I think the reason why is because it's establishing a new character, it's establishing, villains and the problems with the characters and things like that. That in and of itself, you know, it's establishing a character. The only place to go at the end of that character being established is up, right? Because the next logical step is some type of like group or team up thing, or they show up here, they show up there, whatever. But with like pre-established characters like Nick Fury, Talos, um, and the chick from How I Met Your Mother, like some of these people that's already been established on something like that could potentially be of a larger scale, because it could be like the Secret Invasion thing is a massive thing. It just depends on how they're going to play it. But at the same time, like it's hard to watch Marvel and be like, oh, what is this? What are we building towards here? And that's a good thing on to one extent, but it's a bad thing for literally everything else.
Well,
And it sucks.
it does, but that's what happens when you lose nuance going from comic book to screen.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, in part, it goes to the old debate that for a long time now, Marvel's had a villain problem.
Yeah.
When you look at a lot of standalone films, you have iconic villains that show up, but they're just wasted in one movie.
Yeah.
And it's because the audience now, general audiences, have a taste of like the real big bads. And
Mm.
you can't spend that, like, you can't have any one hero just take that guy on.
Yeah.
It's got to be the team up now, you know.
Right.
It's like they're a slave to their own chains, you know.
Yeah.
And to add to what you're saying with Moon Knight, and I would even argue movies like Shang-Chi and Eternals,
Yeah.
for good or bad, they felt very self-contained, and I think that's why I enjoyed them for what they were.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll die on that hill that in another 10, maybe not even that long, the way like people are gonna have the same approach to the Eternals that Star Wars fans had towards the prequels.
Yeah.
They're shitting on it now. They think it's got, it's no rhyme or reason, blah blah blah, whatever. Insert reason for not liking it. But I think in a few more years and letting it just stay out in the ether, it's going to become one of the more underrated Marvel movies.
Yeah. I agree. But I do like, I do like where they're pushing everything. I do like, the story as a whole. I'm interested to see like how this is going to play out, because they could be doing something here that ripples through not only like, the current, Kang stuff that's going on, but even further than that. Like it could be something that could ripple for a very long time if they do it right. And if they don't just say, okay, we're going to tackle Secret Invasion and it's just going to be a series and be done, and then there's going to be a couple of things pop up here and there and other blah 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 blah. Like I hope that they take the opportunity to give it some longevity. Because if they do that, I think we'll be okay. I think it'll be fine. I just don't want them to waste the idea of these characters, especially since the Fantastic Four hasn't been introduced yet. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, not even the Fantastic Four, but the X-Men.
yeah,
They've got to make their grand entrance now, and I think you're right, and I think they'll be fine. I think when you zoom out and look at the MCU's timeline as a whole right now, it reflects the multiversal thing with Kang. Like, there's just so much going on right now if you line everything up. Like, because some stuff's happening simultaneously, some's happening just a little bit after Endgame, like because of real world problems and, the coof. Uh, because of stuff like that, it's caused the timeline of the MCU to be really weird now.
yeah,
But large in part, it's kind of on time with the idea that like you have the ground level stuff happening where the Thunderbolts are building up to be the next big bad. Well, you've also got Kingpin going on because we all know he ain't dead. He's showing up in Daredevil.
yeah,
So it makes you wonder what from Hawk, the whole thing with Hawkeye, you got Spider-Man, all the street level hero stuff that's being built up right now.
yeah,
You've got them kind of putting a nice bow on Cosmic Marvel for the time being, with Guardians and all that stuff. But at the same time, the cosmic part's getting blown completely out the wazoo with Doctor Strange. You've got all the shit with the multiversal war and with the whole thing of Kang. The last thing we've seen of Kang at the moment is that they're all meeting up to about to start fucking on everybody.
yeah,
And it's just a lot going on in
yeah,
in the story right now. And I think once the multiverse saga gets resolved, I think there'll be this weird return to form, and I think they'll be able to properly reintroduce characters, you
right,
know. So, I mean, it's Marvel. Marvel's gonna be Marvel.
yeah.
They did get the rights back to the Hulk.
That's
The
awesome.
movies will be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I can't remember what was it. You just say Universal?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do anything for 15 years. That was the rules.
That's crazy.
Them's the breaks.
Yeah. Pump them. Pump them brakes.
And I mean, when they get with Marvel getting the Hulk back,
Just in time too.
Well, it also makes sense why there's been a lot of changes to Captain America 4.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense now.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if we're going to get the seeds planted in that movie for we finally get the Incredible Hulk back, not Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that we've been missing from the Avengers and from Marvel as a whole is the big green fucking mean machine, dude.
Him will be back.
Because some of the best sequences in the early Avenger films were his smash moments, dude, where he just straight up was just wrecking shit.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when they did the oh man, what was it? It was one of the first two where they put the camera on it. You know how they have those shots now? They use it a lot in drama films to reflect somebody drunk, where they have the camera faced like if they're wearing that chest brace and the camera's aimed focused on their face, but everything behind them's fucking shifting and everything. Well, there's that segment in one of those early two movies where Hulk's like ripped the fucking tank in half or some shit like that, but the military's firing on him. And it cuts to that shot of him just moving, like fucking grunting and shit. But you see him blowing those bullets off of him like they're fucking flies, like it ain't a big deal, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, I just, it would be bittersweet if they end up going back to creating a more darker version of the Hulk that Edward Norton had planned for him if
Yeah.
you know before they got Ruffalo. Because I mean,
Ruffaloed.
well, they introduced Scar for no fucking reason in She-Hulk. They've already shown us Sakaar in the Thor films. So there's no reason for Planet Hulk. So that I mean it would be insane if this you know he shows up, he hulks out once and for all, and it's finally like it's the bad one, like,
Right.
and it's World War Hulk. He's beating the piss out of everybody, and it takes the Fantastic Four to do him in.
Yeah. Do him in real good.
Well, I mean, only because it's going to take someone as smart as Tony Stark or Bruce Banner to capture the Hulk, and the only person next in line, in my opinion, that could pull it off would be Reed Richards.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah, Secret Invasion hasn't been bad. I've really been enjoying it. I like the dude that plays Talos a lot.
He's been the best part outside of
Yeah.
Sam Jackson because he was kind of just that comedic relief in Captain Marvel, which that whole fucking movie was comedic relief in my opinion. But no,
Right.
Captain Marvel was my Wonder Woman, Griffin. Fuck that movie.
Yeah, it was
It
it
was a
wasn't
movie.
yeah, it wasn't anyway. It wasn't a strong movie. it wasn't strong enough to cut you with it if you needed to.
No.
She
You
might
know?
have lost her humanity, but she didn't lose her sense of humor.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
terrible.
But yeah, that being said, though, Talos' character, or yeah, having him fleshed out more in this show's been good, and there was kind of that little moment where one of my favorite moments or interactions between Fury and him so far was that sequence where they're going to interrogate a
Well, they're
scroll
in
and
the
they're
car.
fighting him. Well,
Yeah.
no, they're fighting him, and they've got guns drawn and everything. And Talos is telling Fury, he's like, "Don't fucking kill him, like don't this is my fight. Back the fuck up, man. Let me do this. Well, dude's about to kill him. Fury puts the scroll down, and he goes to help him up. And dude don't take his hand. He just slaps him. He goes, "Dude, I said no. Like,
And
no
then
killing."
he shoots the guy they're trying to get the thing from later.
Yeah.
He don't like people bringing his daughter up.
Yeah.
He
And she
choked
ain't
that
dead.
dude.
Yeah.
No, she ain't dead.
Well, any time, because that's probably one of the most like common and timeless comic book dilemmas that any hero faces is like the great debate. Do you kill your bad guy or do you let him live and put him in jail? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you let him live with what he's done? And any time that they can brush shoulders with that idea in any of these movies and shows or whatever, I'm always down to watch, because that's, to me, that's being quote unquote comic book as fuck, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been enjoying it. I'm looking forward to more of it, man. We'll see. We
How
got a
many
little bit of,
episodes? How many episodes is it 8?
I think so. Let's see. Secret Invasion. Ben Mendelsohn is that guy's name. Pretty great.
Mendelsohn. 6 only?
6 episodes, yeah.
So
So
we've
it is
already
leading into something.
we're starting the second half.
Yeah. They got some ground to move then, you know, so
Well, a lot's about to start happening.
yeah, a lot of changing, a lot of shape changing. So we got a little bit of movie news here, and I thought so. We had 2 weeks worth, and I went in there and I whittled it down. You know, I pulled the old trusty knife out the pocket, you know, and whittled some things down. But this is something that I thought was interesting. Stanley Tucci says it's fine for straight actors to play gay roles. That's the whole point of it. So Stanley Tucci has shared his thoughts on straight actors playing gay characters and vice versa. A veteran of the screen who's earned 5 Emmy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, and a SAG Award, Tucci was nominated for an Oscar for his role in The Lovely Bones. With these and his many other roles, Tucci plays some very different characters. That includes the actor who's been married to Felicity Blunt since 2012, playing gay roles in the 2006 film The Devil Wears Prada and the 2020 film Supernova. Tucci would garner critical acclaim for playing those roles, but the idea of straight actors playing gay characters has taken some criticism in recent years. For his part, Tucci says it's fine, just as long as it's done the right way, such as avoiding certain stereotypes. The actor then notes how much praise he's gotten from gay men who've enjoyed his performances in gay roles. Obviously, I believe that's fine, Tucci said on BBC Radio 4's Desert Island Discs show. Per Variety, I'm always very flattered when gay men come up to me and talk to me about The Devil Wears Prada, or they talk about Supernova and they say that it was just so beautiful. You know, you did it the right way, because often it's not done the right way. With that said, Tucci adds, an actor is an actor is an actor. You're supposed to play different people. You just are. That's the whole point of it. I mean, this is something that's kind of been going around. It's been going around quite a bit recently, like within the last several years, you know, about, you know, people playing, you know, straight people playing, you know, gay people. And then it kind of spreads from there as far as like, is it okay for, you know, people like a man to dress up like a woman in
Yeah.
this particular part and all this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, right? Like, you're playing a character,
You're acting.
right? Yes, exactly. You're playing a character. Now, some people approach the process of playing a character very differently. If
Mm-hmm.
you take a method actor, then I mean, they're probably in that moment, they're playing that character to a T. So
Which
Well, I
they're
means
mean,
they're
gonna,
gay.
yes, exactly, right?
Jake
So
Gyllenhaal.
well,
yeah,
well, Jared Leto and Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, bring up that argument to him and his Oscar for that, you know?
right. And it's I think that he phrased it correctly. Now I think that if you're writing a movie or if a script is written for a very stereotypical performance and someone delivers, like if a straight person plays a gay person in a movie and they deliver the performance that's being written, does that come down to the actor's fault?
Well, I think it comes down to the writer's fault, and mainly because I feel like this article and the whole conversation is bringing up something where, you know, all right, when you watch a film, you're watching a character, and just part of this character's traits is he just happens to be a homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't nullify that they can't just continue playing a human being.
Yes.
And I think when you have like because a lot of gay roles in a lot of older films and everything, it's like kind of like how when British people try to play Southern people,
Yeah.
well, they all sound like they're from the antebellum South.
Yeah.
Well, there's a long history in movies where if somebody's gay, then they have to be just over the top, eccentric, flamboyant, like
Not like
and
Gay Perry.
well, yeah, and I think that just as we roll our eyes at the antebellum Southern drawl in a modern day set movie, I feel like there's probably some gay people out there that watch these movies, and when there's a gay character, when they're straight up Liberace about it, they probably roll their eyes too.
Well, dude, Nathan Lane and The Birdcage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Whoa.
not every like not every
And
gay
then you have
person
next
out
to
there is
him
that
Robert
way.
Williams playing gay. And
Yeah.
he's not the, over the top.
Yeah. Well, look at the Green Book.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think that Ali Marshala is homosexual, but like
But
that.
depicting someone that has very prominent feminine traits and personality doesn't have to always equate Chris Tucker in The Fifth Element.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think it really, and that's what this should realistically, because think about it. Like, I'm going to use the Green Book as an example here. Ali Marshala Marshala Ali plays, a musician during, one of the worst moments in history that is also gay, right? Plays
Yeah.
a minority that's going to the South during all the civil rights stuff that's also gay, right? And the purpose of that movie's existence is the exploration of two completely different people that
Yeah.
don't like one another developing a friendship because of them seeing the world and seeing how the other person is being treated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very well written, right?
Well,
Very well
yeah.
acted.
Well, with Mashala's character, it got the double whammy to ram up the suspense of how dangerous his trek across the South is truly going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Because of that social disadvantage that was very prevalent at that time.
yeah. So I think it comes down to like, how is it written? What's the context of it? And like, what's going to be okay for this particular situation, right? Because like, if you're writing a comedy and the comedy, the writer calls for a very stereotypical, flamboyant, over the top homosexual character in it, then it would be more successful and more genuine, in my opinion, if they had someone that actually was like could channel that. You know what I'm saying? But if
Well, I think a movie we watched earlier in the year touched on this really well, and I think it was Knock at the Cabin.
yes,
I think the
yeah,
way they did, like, they were able to hit all of the laughable check marks, but not in such an over dramatic way.
right. But yeah, it's very interesting. And like Tucci, I mean, it's Tucci. You know what I'm saying? It's the Tucci.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Like,
if I'm in a space movie, he's Mission Control.
Yeah.
yeah,
Arriba
ground
Tucci.
control. Yeah, Tucci. And look at Brendan Fraser in The Whale.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, I think it comes down to like context. It comes down to who's writing it and like the person that's writing it not being tone deaf, right?
Yeah.
And then the casting director and everybody else involved not being tone deaf. I think that there's room in the world where if you're an actor and there's a role that you want to play that's a homosexual character, then you know that should be there. Just
Yeah.
the same as the opportunity for someone that wants to play that role that's homosexual play a straight role. It should be
Well,
Yes.
interchangeable.
can't we acknowledge too that for decades homosexuals played straight characters? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I
All the
mean,
time. Still happening.
and and don't get me wrong. I mean, what are we? Three white straight males. So what's our opinion of the world right now? But
I stand with the toots.
it's yeah. I think it's understandable in a present day thing where the different quote unquote minorities and marginalized, populaces of the world can inhibit roles and opportunities and all of that stuff. But on the other hand, too, when it comes to film specifically for this podcast, I think a lot of it also comes down to each film is cast by their director.
mhm,
And that being said, if there are actors and actresses out there that want to portray where they're from in film, then learn to fucking act. Get in
yeah,
front of a camera to audition. Go for these roles. I mean, those opportunities are there more so, I would think,
Yeah.
in the progressive mindset of
Well,
America through Hollywood. Like
especially
that's the
now.
most
So I
well
was gonna
arts.
say people fought so hard to break, like, a long time ago, uh Bobby Lee talks about it a lot. Go get a movie role, Asian guy in the store. He's like, there were no roles for us,
yeah,
you know. So people finally broke these walls down, and then they want to start putting walls back up. It's like, well, should a guy that's not gay play a gay character? It's like, whoa, I thought we broke all this down.
yeah, right,
Anybody can do anything now. We're not
yeah. So
like, if you're going to say that you can't do that, then you would have to say, well, uh, you know, um, a black person can't play a role that was written for a white person,
yeah, and it's like then
but you
then it's
can.
splitting hair. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
splitting hairs unnecessarily. Like,
they
yeah,
tried to
no,
gaslight him into some.
yeah,
But you see that all. What sucks is that is all those types of healthy conversations that need to be had, and all of those healthy opportunities and relationships that could be made through actors and their agencies and subsequently into films and everything. That all gets fucked up because people poison the well, they muddy the
Yeah,
waters, or whatever tactic you want to call it. Um, that stuff happens, and that stuff is like the counter yelling to the voices that are trying to legitimately be heard will always be more raucous. They will always be louder, and they will always take what was intentionally a very good, just, noble cause and just wipe their ass with it.
right. Well, there's some other stuff here. I thought that this was pretty interesting, and I wanted to keep this in here. New distributor, Film Masters, to restore cult movies to their former glory. So, fans of classic and cult movies have a reason to celebrate. According to Variety, a new distribution company is launching to preserve and distribute the beloved titles of yesteryear. The company is called Film Masters and was founded by historian Phil Hopkins, who spoke with Variety on his mission. Preserving these films is an incredible homogenized media in an incredible homogenized media world is more important than ever. As a consortium of historians and avid enthusiasts, Film Masters was launched to celebrate the preservation and restoration of vintage movies, many of them cult films, that otherwise might not be seen or experienced by a new generation of film lovers. Each release will feature original bonus material that contextualize and enhance the enjoyment and understanding of the film. Per Variety, the company plans to release new Blu-ray DVD title every month to their collection. What will their first entry be? None other than 1959's The Giant Gila Monster?
Gila
Uh,
Monster?
Gila? Is it
Is that what it
is
is?
it
I've heard of a
Gila?
Gila Monster before.
Yeah. The film will come on a two-disc bundle with 1959's The Killer Shrews. The two films were both produced by Ken Curtis and directed by Ray Kellogg, produced back to back and released as a double feature. A trailer for Killer Shrews can be viewed below. Following the initial release, Film Masters plans on releasing 1959's Beast from Haunted Cove on October 24th and 1934's The Scarlet Letter on November the 21st. Each release will feature a restored 4K 35mm scan with original film elements and aspect ratios. The disc will also be region free with DTS HD and Dolby A3 AC3S sound. The releases will also feature original bonus content. Filmmasters also has a YouTube channel with content ranging from clips to full feature films that are free to stream. Um,
I
stepping up.
mean, that sounds like a lot, but it's not going to be a lot. Think of how old these movies are. There's only so much they can get out of that and restore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Well, I mean,
I don't think Dolby's, converting something to Dolby whatever is going to, you know, it, I just don't see where someone's going to be like, dude, it looks and sounds so good. And maybe I'm wrong, man. I know technology's come a long way with
Well, it'll definitely
conversion,
look better than it did when it came out.
yeah,
but almost to the point where one would possibly argue that it wouldn't be enjoyable.
Because I don't know if you guys ever done it, but like you buy something old movie, they put it on Blu-ray. I'm not Blu-ray, DVD. You pop it in,
yeah,
it's like, I mean, it just
yeah,
kind of. Now, Blu-ray, like a remaster 4K, you put that in, it's like, okay, there's a little bit of a difference here,
yeah,
just in detail. But like you see that footage they get offline that's really old, and they go in there and now they got AI programs that can fill in bad spots and
And see, but that to me, that's jarring to me, man. It makes the frame look weird because like it's one thing like if a modern movie has it because you're like it's almost like everything fits perfectly.
mm-hmm.
But where those missing frames come in those classics, it's almost like it what's the best way to put it? The movies from the 1950s, you're expecting a 1950s look.
yeah,
And sometimes I feel like trying to put this modern polish on stuff like that isn't the best route. Like restore it, get it
Yeah,
as
just a
good as you
nice copy of
can.
it to save for the future.
Yeah, but don't overdo it because then like it's almost like you know it kind of takes the piss out of the idea of watching a classic film. You want to see that film green. You
yeah,
want to see where the camera work wasn't the best. Like just for the sake of seeing where they were at the time with the technology that they had.
yeah. Well, I mean, and whenever you look at the trailer for the Killer Shrews, like it's look how blurry it is.
Yeah, so that's what they're gonna fix.
So this is all about uh, preservation to an extent. That's kind of how I look at it because,
Yeah,
like, you have all these movies that have probably been locked away in these vaults for almost 100 years at this point, give or take, and they've never seen the light of day. They've never seen a physical release. They've only been viewed, at that time in that time period, and like it's all about preservation. There could be some like legitimate ahead of their time gems out there that we don't know about as a because we were just weren't around at the time. If there's something that come out in 1943, you know, and we weren't around to see that. So I think getting it out there and spreading it and just like updating it because like, dude, I wouldn't mind watching the Killer Shrews, but I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not gonna watch the way that it looks in this trailer because even without blowing it up, it
Yeah.
is so blurry and it is so like it would kind of pull me out of the experience a little bit because like I want to watch it. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to see a bunch of trees and like and not be able to differentiate between the actors and like the sets, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, and I think that's where it should be, like you were saying, just a preservation level.
yeah,
Like bring it up to, like, for instance, a 4 8K version of a 1950s film ought to just look like a really good DVD copy.
yeah. I mean, if they would take all the Three Stooges shorts and do them in 4K and just make it clear, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
make them clear. I
like
would
just
buy
don't, yeah, just don't pump it up on steroids.
right.
Like just, because like I said, it's just, I don't know. There's, like, you wanna honor as much of the detail that it could give you without supplementing it with fake detail that wasn't it. Like, because you're not watching an original cut, you're watching a computer recreate a frame to make it run
Well,
a
and I'm
little
not saying that
smoother.
they would do that. I brought that up, and
Oh,
it didn't say nothing about that in there, but they do that, you know.
yeah, but yeah,
I think
I
this
was
guy's
gonna,
just going back in that archive and making copies of everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
He making a backup for the backup.
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
I mean, but that's the thing though, Adam. You're right though, and they're probably, and I mean that probably happens way more often than we probably even imagine.
It's cheaper than reshooting.
Absolutely.
So you gotta do what you gotta do.
Next up here, Kathleen Kennedy says that Star Wars is ready to move on from George Lucas.
Haven't we read
I think
this
it's the other way
before?
around.
Nah, there was a similar article, but whenever all that D23 stuff happened, there was a similar article that came out about this. But says that in a let's see, this was in therefore with future Star Wars projects both on film and television, the franchise will seek to start a new path away from what George Lucas created. This was anticipated by Lucasfilm CEO Kathleen Kennedy in an interview with Games Radar, referring particularly to the film that will see the return of Daisy Ridley as the main star. And I think it offer this is her quote, and I think it offers just tremendous opportunity to introduce new characters and start with something fresh because we culminated with what George was creating. And now we take all of that and move it to the next chapter. I mean, the sequels don't have anything to do with what Lucas was doing, right? Like seven,
I
eight,
didn't think
nine.
so.
Look,
She's
and
fucking
here,
crazy.
well, here's the thing. Like, obviously, right? Obviously, at a point, they're gonna have to move past what Lucas w- has established, right? Like, there's hundreds of thousands of years here that has to be accounted for in some capacity. There's no way that he wrote a detailed, you know, fucking archive of what happened every single year in Star Wars years. You know what I'm saying? So inevitably, like creating new characters and new conflicts and all that kind of stuff, that's an inevitable thing that's going to happen. But like,
Well, everything he did will always remain the backdrop from which the new stuff is being told with.
yeah,
Because even though they're trying to distance themselves from the Skywalker saga, the events of the Skywalker saga was an era of, like, one of the most important times in the galaxy far away's history.
yeah,
And so, I mean, moving on from that, I just don't, because it's almost like the news coming coming out about Disney and Star Wars is so schizophrenic.
Yeah.
You have articles like this that show that she is very much in control and this is what's happening and this, that, and the other. And then on the other hand, you'll read a million articles that's like, oops, her days are numbered, yo.
Yeah.
Like, she's moving
I
on.
kind of keep getting LARPed.
Yeah.
And ultimately, there's definitely two crowds out there, or really one crowd, because I don't know of anyone outside of maybe a very small marginalized few that are on board with the Kennedy train.
Yeah. I think this article, the title's the other way around. Star Wars is ready to move on from Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about what she said there. It's like, you can't move on from George Lucas. He created everything in it.
Yeah.
It's always going to be Lucas. She just wants his name gone so fucking bad.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of every fucking episode and at the end of the episode, what are you going to see?
Lucasfilm,
There
baby.
you go.
Well,
You can't
in
remove him from it.
In this article, it says after 3 trilogies that connected a larger story, Lucasfilm closed the Skywalker saga, the plot that started it all. However, the franchise has expanded well beyond the legacy of Luke, Leia, Han Solo, and even Darth Vader or the Jedi. And despite the fact that most of the spin offs still have some connection to the main story, they are slowly drifting further and further away. Therefore, with future Star Wars projects both on film and on television, the franchise will seek to start a new path away from what George Lucas has created. So they're equating everything that's Star Wars to those core saga, the core saga, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like in reality, like anything that is in the Star Wars universe is George Lucas adjacent, right? He's always going to be intrinsically tied to it because he created it, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, if she wants to separate what they're doing over there with Star Wars, then create a new sci-fi universe. The reason that people want to watch Star Wars is because they want to see dogfights, they want to see light swords, they want to see walking dogs, they want to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what people want to see, and you trying to force people out of that, away from that.
Well, they want to see generations of people learn like get to hear the lines of Yoda and the generational nostalgia that's already in effect for Lucas or for Star Wars as a whole. Like there are people with grandparents that grew up with the original trilogy. There's our generation that grew up with the prequels and the the dark times of the of the original trilogy when a whole lot wasn't going on. And then you've got the kids beneath us now that grew up on the Ray story
Also,
and the
the
sequel
cartoons,
trilogy.
that's big.
And that's the biggest, to me, that's the biggest hurdle that they're going to have to jump to get away from anything Lucas centric because even though Filoni is very much in control and did that whole story, the Clone Wars itself as an event in Star Wars history, most of the properties that are out right now have some character that is tied to that event.
Yeah.
Like that was a very big. There's a reason that it took a 7-season TV show to tell just how devastating the Clone Wars was to the galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, like she try as she might, like you can tell from all the properties that have came out. Like, look, Andor, it was good, fine, whatever. You know, like there's certain properties that come out, but it all is still
It's all Star Wars, baby.
Yes,
it's all
exactly.
George Lucas, man. You'll never.
Exactly.
She's just jealous.
Well, if she doesn't understand why people gravitated to the Mandalorian as much as they did, then she legitimately has lost complete touch. Yes, exactly.
Well, even with Andor, and I know they didn't necessarily reveal it, but I think it'll happen in time. I genuinely think at the heart of Andor, on a world building level, we're seeing the price and toll it took on the galaxy to get the resources to build the fucking Death Star and why
Yeah.
it took the Galactic Empire to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So she just, I, the sooner that she's out of there,
Mm-hmm.
the sooner that she's out of there is the sooner we can get these things. Like you put James Gunn and Peter Safran in charge of DC, and you that they're going to establish their universe, their world. There's no way, like even Gunn himself, he's like, I mean, we got to start it with Superman, right? Like
Yeah.
that he is so tied into like what that universe is. Why stray away from that? Why try to do something out of complete left field? Now, there's times, of course, you can do, you can do a series or you can do a movie here and there that's kind of like off the wall, out of nowhere type deal. But at the end of the day, like you have to keep it inside of that or people are just not going to watch it.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, think about it too. Like, and it stems back to the prequel series and the Clone Wars. You have the galactic fucking civil war breakout,
Yeah.
and that was such a devastating conflict that, of course, for decades, even hundreds of years, because we're talking about space for crying out loud. The consequences of that war and the events that happened, because the end of the Galactic Civil War was Death Star 2 blowing up and Luke walking out of the throne room being the only one alive.
Yeah.
So there's that era of of myth that's created around the Skywalkers now.
Yeah.
Like we the audience know what happened and the story that played out, but like for instance in The Mandalorian, Gideon would rather take a blaster to the face than have to answer Luke Skywalker because of just what he's heard about him.
Yeah.
So like there's stories upon stories of just how the galaxy perceives them.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I mean, and it all boils down to, like that, like Adam said, she's talking out her ass. There's no way you can move on from George Lucas and Star Wars because everything was made for a fucking reason in that galaxy.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with I mean, the soon like I said, the sooner that she gets out of there, the better it will be. It's just she's so out of touch. But anyway,
But that's most of Hollywood.
Yeah.
yeah, well. Speaking of something very interesting here, Cillian Murphy wants to return for 28 Days Later sequel. So, Cillian Murphy would love to return to the zombie ravaged world of 28 Days Later in a long awaited sequel. Speaking with Collider, Murphy revealed that he has been speaking with director Danny Boyle recently, with the actor declaring the condition he would pose upon the follow up. It needs to be 28 years later rather than 28 months. I was talking to Danny Boyle recently and I said, Danny, we should shoot the movie at the end of 2000. So I think we're definitely approaching the 28 years later. But like I've always said, I'm up for it. I'd love to do it. If Alex Garland thinks there's a script in it and Danny wants to do it, I'd love to do it. Murphy's eagerness to return as zombie apocalypse survivor Jim in a possible 28 years later is just one of the promising updates that the sought after sequel has gotten recently. 28 days later, writer Alex Garland revealed just a few days ago that he has an idea, saying, a few years ago, an idea materialized in my head for what would be really 28 years later. Danny always liked the idea. That Danny would be director Danny Boyle, who went on to reveal that they are now discussing the sequel quite
Mm.
seriously, quite diligently. If he doesn't want to direct it himself, I'll be well up for it if we can execute a similarly good idea. So
They
with
want
director,
they want one more performance out of Cillian Murphy before he wins that Oscar for Oppenheimer.
right?
Order the fucking Peaky Blinders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So with director, writer, and now star all on board, could we finally see the 28 Days Later franchise resurrected all these years later and return to the terrifying world of fast zombies in 28 years later? Let's hope so.
It'll happen.
I think it'll happen, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. Look at the people like Danny Bull and
Yeah.
Alex Garland.
Well, they're all bigger now than they were then.
Oh yeah, for
especially
sure.
him.
Yeah,
That TV show's huge, y'all. And like I knew that the guy was a decent actor,
yeah.
but I saw him, play a Brit.
So that made you realize he was a great actor.
Well, he is in every scene. He's the main,
Yeah,
he's the Nucky Thompson.
He locks it in,
and it's so good. I wish I had more to watch. I'm mad. Make a movie or something,
dude. That Danny Bull and Alex Garland, they've worked together a couple of times here. So they did The Beach 28 Days Later and Sunshine together.
I mean, 3 good movies.
2 movies with him.
Yeah.
I think they'll do it to pull because it'll do numbers.
Yeah.
The Beach, I didn't know what to think.
Is that the Oregon Harvester movie?
No. That's Leonardo DiCaprio running through the woods like a video game.
Oh, okay. What was that one? Y'all know what I'm talking about with the clones? Okay, it was okay.
Which that was Logan's Run, really.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember The Beach.
Yeah. But yeah, I would be interested to see, because I think that there's a good enough idea, and I think that like, even though AMC has like 4 different Walking Dead spinoffs coming up, we got the Daryl spinoff.
We've got the trailer, dude.
Yeah, it's Maggie and Negan spinoff is happening. Like you've enough, but I think that like 28 Days Later, bringing these people back could reignite the zombie. Like Train to Busan kind of reignited it for me, even though that was an older movie. Just because it was just it was new to us. Yeah, well, it was just a good movie. So,
well, instead of zombie fatigue, which was absolutely the thing when at the peak of Walking Dead, they locked it in. But I think now people are just bored of specifically The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And this would be a great franchise to bring back, because I mean, there's just always something horrifying about the idea that zombies are running at you and not just
And think about this. Think about 28 years of that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a wild world you're living in. By then, there's going to be, more shit up and running of people fighting back. It's going to be kind of like that. What was that we watched?
Well, what's going to be crazy is it's going to be more of human versus human than really the zombies.
That's what I'm saying. What was that movie? The show, Pedro Pascal.
Oh, the last
20 years passed just bam like that, and it was like everything was just different.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, a lot of the reason that those zombies are running is because they're all freshly dead.
Yeah.
And if like you have 28 years, there's always going to be fresh dead. If that makes any sense.
People are always going to die.
But those numbers are going to dwindle really fast to where it's going to be like.
It'll also mutate. You don't know what's going to happen,
Yeah. Yeah. So.
It'd be cool.
Right. So next up here, Deadpool 3. All right, we got to talk about Deadpool 3 a little bit here. So Jennifer Garner's coming back as Elektra, right? So we've got like a couple of things that's going to be happening here. We know she's coming back. We know Affleck was on the set, and the rumors are that he's playing Daredevil. Like they're bringing the Affleck Daredevil back. Also, Channing Tatum, Gambit we may actually get him playing Gambit on the big screen for the first time ever. And that's not counting any other people that have like done stuff that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
this is going to be fucking
It's
hilarious.
gonna be good.
yeah. And that they released some pictures recently where we actually get Wolverine in the yellow and blue suit.
Which makes me wonder if he's wearing what's ultimately gonna probably, like, they're calling it the classic suit, but it's the X-Men 98, right?
Yeah.
What if he ends up in the same universe Doctor Strange did, and that's where he gets his Wolverine. That way, the events of Logan don't get fucked with. The Fox,
well, just the fact that you're gonna have all these different,
yeah.
there's something's happening. I mean, Ben Affleck's there. Hell, we already got a Daredevil. Why is he there?
Well, it would be cool.
It would be
cool if the pre MCU heroes were, like, instead of just saying, okay, they're from the Daredevil, this, that, and the other, like, have it to where some of these universes we've been hopping through, we
like Tom Hardy.
We kind of visit back to them,
Yeah.
and maybe they reveal that maybe some universes were connected and we never knew.
Yeah. It says here that since the first film, Reynolds, Wade Wilson has taken advantage of characteristic humor to joke about the different versions of characters and sagas that have been built within the world of superheroes. Deadpool 2, some of the main stars of the most recent X-Men movie series had a brief cameo inside Xavier's mansion. Although the specific details of the plot of Deadpool 3 have not yet been revealed, everything seems to indicate that the Merc with a Mouth got a hold of his friend Cable's time travel device, and by using it draws the attention of the TVA. To avoid being punished, Wade makes a deal with them because Owen Wilson he has been confirmed being on set as well, by the way. Yeah. To avoid being punished, Wade made a deal with them to help them on a mission that will take him across the multiverse to different realities, crossing paths with different versions of Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman, various actors and actresses of the different X-Men sagas throughout history, and who knows which other superhero genre stars. I think they're going to do Deadpool kills the Fox universe. I don't think that they're intentionally going to have it that way, but I think that he's going to fuck up bad enough that causes that timeline to like collapse in on itself. You know what I mean?
That'd be a cool way to do it.
Yeah. So it's cool. Like, we watched Doctor Strange, then we watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, and we were like, that was
They
a
did it better.
multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Deadpool might top.
Yeah.
I think it's going to top Doctor Strange for sure, just based off of what we know so far.
And they for sure saw that movie and was like, "Damn."
They're on I'm just excited for the level of banter we're gonna get, especially the jokes where, because he's gonna shit on the whole situation at large as to him being in the MCU now.
Oh, they're gonna get joked
like,
on.
Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, just like think of it, like think of the movie starting like the 20th Century Fox logo, and you just hear him go, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Stop this shit," and it shows the Marvel logo, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Daddy's home." Like
Right.
acting like he's the arrival of the greatest merger when you know what I mean. It's fucking Wade Wilson.
Right. So I'm excited. I mean, I think they wrapped filming recently, like within the past day or two. So I'm ready for this to come out. It can't come out soon enough, in my opinion here.
Or like, I'm still caught up on the idea of what he could make fun of. Like, before, not even 2 minutes in, he's swearing or whatever, and he goes, "I've said fuck twice. Beat that, Chris Pratt."
I mean, they're gonna take it. They're gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying? So last up here, we finally got casting confirmation for Superman, and also more. So David Cornswet, or yeah, Corns. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He will be playing Superman, and Rachel Brosnahan will be playing Lois Lane. They've also added a couple of other people: Isabella uh, Merced, Eddie Geth Gethje, and Nathan Fillion joins James Gunn's new Superman film. Now, I did fact check this, by the way. Like
I,
after, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You're talking about the dude's name. I think the way you would pronounce it is Corin Sway, like the T silent.
Cornsway.
Yeah.
Okay, Cornsway. Um, but I did fact check this because this was posted today at 6:35 p.m. James Gunn confirmed that these casting rumors are correct. Nathan Fillion is going to be playing Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. Um, Gethke, a veteran of the Twilight and X Men First Class films, will play Michael Holt, who is known for being a brilliant inventor who first appeared in a '97 issue of Spectre, Mister Terrific. So he'll be playing Mister Terrific. As for Merced, she'll be playing Hawk Girl. So we just got confirmation that in the Superman movie, we're going to get Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, Mister Terrific, and Hawk Girl.
That's some shit I've never seen in a super movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Mr. Terrific.
It sounds very comic book
Yes,
to
it
pair
does.
those
Right.
together. Like,
Yeah.
but I have faith in him.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Like we're slowly getting confirmation here. I don't think that they've released the confirmation on who's going to be playing Lex in the
That needs to
in
be. They need to keep hush on that and let that just be a reveal.
yeah. Leave it for the trailer.
Or leave
You
it.
know?
No, leave it for the movie. Like
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they got it in
maybe
the
show us.
trailer.
Maybe show us the bald head, the back of the head.
Maybe hear a
Or like,
voice.
yeah, something like like just a classic. Like, what are you going to do, Super?
But yeah, I'm look, Guy Gardner. I just want to go on a little tangent here. Guy Gardner was one of my favorite Green Lantern. And Nathan Fillion to be playing this character
Yeah.
may be the best DC casting of all time, in my opinion. I'm putting that out there. I think that his personality and
Yeah.
Guy Gardner's personality are gonna it's gonna be fucking incredible. And seeing Mr. Terrific on the big screen is gonna be absolutely insane. Like the more that we hear, I'm very interested to see how James Gunn does a Superman movie because we've
Yeah.
seen him do all different. And after watching that last Guardians movie, I feel like he could definitely tackle a Superman movie and it be full of heart and full of character and charisma, the whole nine yards. But like, I'm super excited for what they're doing over there, man. It's going to be something beautiful. So.
I, I'm I'm just gonna say I'm gonna remain skeptical.
I get it.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm just as excited with these announcements, but there's, I mean, I don't know, man. Gunn, Gunn clearly understands what he's like his source material,
Well,
whether it be
especially after seeing
Marvel
like
or DC.
Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on. I want that guy to make a Superman movie.
yeah. I mean, I have hope, but I can't. I feel like I can't jump on board with everyone else being like, "Oh man, it's in such good hands. He's gonna milk it every day. Read it a bedtime story. He fucking loves it, man." Like, part of me wants to be that excited, but there's another
Damn.
part of me
I'm
that's like
excited,
kind
but I
of
ain't that excited.
Well, I mean, I've seen reactions to people like if for some reason for like a brief moment there when Guardians 3 dropped, everyone would be like, this movie's awesome. This blah 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 word vomit, and then it would end with like, DC's in such good hands now. It's like,
well, I'm glad we have a showrunner because before we didn't, it was just some executives being like, "We're gonna make another fucking this."
Yeah,
like, but you need somebody that knows something about this stuff. So thank God they finally picked someone. And it's not the fucking. Remember when the one dude was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do the Justice League thing. We want to move on from that." Then they had to put it out. Like, they fucked up.
They did.
Zaslav. I have faith in him.
Yeah.
That's who I put my faith in because he come along. He did the right thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, that's all I mean, there's a ton of movie news, but like that's the main things that I was like, we got some casting news, we got some rumor stuff going on with Deadpool, a couple things here and there. So it's things are looking bright, Things are looking bright. But I'm ready we've got some incredible trailers lined up here.
It's 2 weeks worth of trailers, so
I can't wait. Like every one of these is going to be bangers.
Maybe.
Well, most of them are going to.
This one's right here is really a banger. You'll see why.
The Passenger? Yeah. Is this the White Passenger?
No, it's a dark passenger.
Okay, so
Passenger.
Dexter. Oh, I'm ready for this. Paramount. 1 million views? Jesus. It's a Blumhouse? Okay.
Hang on, I gotta. Okay. For some reason, my stuff is auto playing. What should happen?
Mine was doing that.
Yeah. Oh. We got plug-in problems. All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
This might be something here.
Yeah, what the fuck is happening?
He's taking him around and showing him how to break bad. Like on the people that made him the way he is, I guess.
Is he real?
I think so. Maybe not. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Whoa. He is dressed like Wilfred, but he's driving. I mean, yeah, I bet that's it, dude.
I mean,
it's him going around doing that, but really,
I mean,
we got,
we got to watch it.
He makes a Tyler Durden.
Yeah. Well, every time you see him, he's wearing that jacket. Well, he was dressed different in the storage. You put it in the.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
want to watch that. That
Is it
looks
a
it looks
movie?
good.
It is a movie. Okay.
Yeah, it looks
August the
really good.
4th. So
That's Sweetheart's birthday.
sweet.
Sweet.
I mean, what to say?
Ashoka.
Ashoka?
Ashoka, dude. 13 hours ago, 3 million views already. I haven't seen that.
Sheesh.
Ashoka. Oh, but we want to distance ourselves
Yeah.
from Star Wars
Yeah.
and everything.
We want to distance ourselves, but we're bringing back Daisy. But we
Yeah.
want to distance ourselves.
We're gonna make
Yeah.
a whole show based around
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker's apprentice.
No, dude. She
Ashoka.
said what she said. She wants to distance them, like, from that name, that person.
Yeah.
Fuck that. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, play. Good luck. Was that Avril Lavigne?
Is that Dooku?
That's the guy that
No.
died.
No.
Yeah,
in real
I hate
life.
that.
So,
I really hate that we're not gonna be able to get more of him because I'm sure he's gonna kill it.
great actor. Well, to the likes of which has never been seen. A lot of ladies. Oh. Okay. Oh, skeet, skeet. Damn, Elon Musk looks crazy. It look like him. Red Saber. I'd have a hard time if I was in a fight with either one of them.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, handlebars. Because they got the.
Yeah.
Looks like a set of.
Yeah.
Like chopper bars, the way that it.
I love the way that they made her look. Like I didn't watch Clone Wars and all that stuff, but I've seen pictures
Yeah, and
of the
clips.
character. Yeah. And I love the
Yeah, it
way
looks
that she
good.
looks in live action. It looks amazing.
She goes from being a character you don't give two shits about to like she's up there with Anakin and Vader and all the others, man. Like they do a good job of watching of having you see a chunk of her life and going from being like a kid at the beginning of Clone Wars to Rosario Dawson. Like
So hot.
they've handled her really well.
Even in
There
the
was
paint.
there's a really badass sequence, man, where it was an episode of Clone Wars where she's trying to get to the ground fight, but she's airborne with a bunch of ships and everything. And her and those people that are in the trailer with her, they're leading like an assault. It's like a dogfight going on.
Mhm.
And there's just this really badass sequence where she's like, "All right, guys, y'all worry about these ships. I'll meet you guys on the ground." And she leaves the ship, and she just fucking goes hard, jumping from ship to ship, just fucking shit up, blowing motors out of the damn back of it and all that, and beats beats the troops to the ground. And she's like, "What took you guys so long?" It was just, it was a really cool little action quip moment,
Right.
And it looks like they're kind of leaning into that in that trailer. Like there's a lot of ship stuff going on.
A lot of ships.
I'm excited. Like, I mean, we've seen her show up in the in some of the other series. So, and I don't know the character all that well, but I'm still ready to like dip my toes into that water. Ass in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Not a worry in the world.
Life is
Cold beer in
good
my
today.
hand. That was good today, dude.
Adios in mine,
So Wonka.
All
We're
right.
gonna get
Here's what
Wonka
I have to
before.
say about this Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, Griffin, but the director of this movie is Paul King. Paul King was the director of 20 Mighty Boosh episodes. He was the
What?
guy. Yeah. He was the guy. He also did that Paddington Bear, but
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but he directed like 20 episodes. He was the guy. Remember when the dude that dressed up like Vince? Where'd you get that? Top Shop? That's him.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
that character in the show.
That was what?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
Top Shop.
And he's doing Wonka.
He's directing this Willy Wonka movie.
So all right.
Top Shop. Now
I'm
I think this is going to be good.
I'm interested in watching the trailer now.
I think this actor is going to do better than Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was just, I don't know what was going on there. The choice with the voice and
it was Depp and
it was the voice that
I'm hoping it stays more like in line with Gene Wilder's.
Yes, and not fucking, hey, how's it going? Just it was weird, man. Weird choice. I enjoyed it. Just weird choice. All right. Ready to play?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, play. Oh.
Okay. Quite ingenuity.
Oh, we're starting at the beginning, huh? We want to get 3 out of this. Oh.
Okay.
True origin story. And the Mighty Boosh. Was that Mr. Bean? I think that was Mr. Bean. Key and Peele. Where's his accent? Yeah. I think that was Tim Robbins in a fat suit. I'm all right with an origin story. It's different. Oh my God.
It is exactly. It's a prequel, dude.
It's a fucking prequel, man. Dude.
Okay. I'm in.
Yeah.
I might go to the theaters and watch that if I can. Like that looks great.
It haven't even hit theaters yet, and I need to go and check this out.
Yeah, for
Well,
real,
no,
right?
forget
Like
about it.
it's coming out at Christmas, dude. Like that's even better. You know, like
dude, what's his name? The Oompa Loompa. What's that guy's name?
Hugh
Great
Grant.
choice, man. Every Oompa Loompa's gonna look like him. Damn. All right.
Blue Beetle.
Battle Beetle. Yeah,
Beetle
Blue
Battle
Beetle.
Bus.
Yeah. Blue Beetle, Beetle Battle Bus. Say that backwards 10 times. All right. 3,
Beetle Battle
2,
Bus.
3, 2, 1, play. I like that first trailer.
Yeah.
It's another DC movie. Right choice as the dad.
Yeah.
He's got a mullet. Yeah. It's kind of got like a Star Kid vibe, like a kid that gets a suit. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to get rid of it?
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
With great power comes great
I mean,
responsibility.
I just go to the grocery store dressed like that. I don't even think you'd have to pay for your food.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Arrest you? I hope he's like a far right online. He's like the government.
Yeah.
His suit's bigger. Here it comes. So it's like this crazy AI.
Yeah. I think it's Alien now. I'm not 100% sure how they did the new Blue Beetle stuff.
That's no bueno. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Target the family.
oh. No bueno, dude.
It's like I could think of anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
I'd be like, I want a fucking gun that when I shoot somebody with it, turns their insides to fucking jello. They just fall, just lump over.
Yeah. It's like, oh, let me take that back. No, it doesn't look bad.
Jello
Like,
gun. No.
I don't know how they've done the new Blue Beetle character. Like, I like Blue Beetle, the old Blue Beetle. It
Yeah.
was more like a Moon Knight thing, kinda.
Yeah.
But I'm in though.
A thing picks a host. You got
It was
powers
like
now, kid.
it was the scarab thing and like
Oh
Blue Beetle
yeah,
was
yeah. That is very Egyptian.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
saw that thing, and it's like
yeah,
suit.
the original Blue Beetle was more like Moon Knight esque than
Dressed and like yeah.
Well, it was like a blue and black suit, but like his powers and stuff were more akin to like Moon Knight's powers and stuff. So, but we finally get our first official Twisted Metal trailer.
Explicit.
Explicit.
Sensational.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That comes from
Sensation.
future. Sensational.
Yeah.
It's like, why did he say that? Sensational. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. The last clip looked good. I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was the dude from the
That was
league.
the dude from the league.
It was. So excited. Rafi?
Rafi, yeah. Cocaine toilet seat.
Dude, it's so funny, man. I like how he's just driving around this mall map like. I don't trust her. That's the chick from The Craft. I hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine up in here.
Oh.
Mm. It looks good.
He has a high C shirt on.
I'm in, dude.
Yeah, it looks good,
How
man.
many? 11 episodes. I might have to.
Yeah.
Let's see. July 27th. Okay. Oh, Will Arnett.
Yeah.
That was Nev Campbell, dude.
I mean,
What the
I'm
fuck
in.
is she been?
I'm in with it. Yeah, right. Like she's been waiting for this role, dude,
Yeah,
for
she's like, well,
years.
I'll come back when they make Twisted Metal.
Yeah,
Like, well, you're
bet.
gonna wait a minute, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna wait a minute. That trailer was way better than the other stuff they released.
Yeah, for
Way
sure.
better. I like how it had the font was like
Yeah,
the game font. It was just old.
right.
I see you out there, whoever made that trailer.
Yeah,
But
I see.
all right, the shift. Got a sci-fi guy riding a horse. All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Mm,
Yeah, that last trailer was quiet compared to this one.
yeah.
Small studio. Nobody plays that anymore. That dude looks familiar. Oh. Who the fuck is this guy? Oh. Where did everybody go?
Oh,
How does the older guy look younger than the younger guy?
Yeah, right.
That dude's got some wild eyes. Coming soon. Oh. I'm the benefit. Oh. Why are you whispering? He looks like Slater. Nick Slater. Is it Nick Slater?
Yeah.
He looks like him. Nick Slater. Nick Slater.
I mean, it looks okay.
No, that's not the right guy. Christian Slater.
Christian Slater. Yeah,
Yeah, he looks like him. He looks like he related to him. I'm over here like Nick Slater, and the internet's like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
No such thing. They're like, we could find a guy with that name, but it ain't the guy you're looking for.
Yeah. Here's his face.
Christian.
Yeah.
I always heard that he was a love child of, when I say bury a man in the marsh, I kind of believe it. They favor. Well, DNA test to clear that up. This is about those vapes.
About the jewels?
Yeah.
Are you really?
No, dude.
I was about to say. I know they're pumping them out fast these days, but damn.
Only in 2 flavors.
Yeah.
You can get everything else in a flavor, but you can't get a fucking mango jewel, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you get a fucking elf bar. But all right, 3, 2, 1, play. Look at old Ben Kingsley's acting here.
God.
The Brits do such a great job with the voices. What's funny is this old chick from Third Rock.
Oh, Little Miss Sunshine.
Was it Nina? Yeah. You could take that thing to the store and be like, it's cosplay.
Yeah.
I don't like the tone of this, but I just want to know.
Yeah.
Look. Love that guy. Principal from Eastbound. This has a weird tone to it.
Yeah.
Just like they did in E.T. Why are some of the letters and the names blurred? Y'all notice that?
Yeah. Redacted.
Oh. Should have put a black line to it. Shoot him a bird. He's going to say, what the fuck, right?
It's a movie. It looks like a series, but
it does look like a series. It looks like it'd be very long and drawn out. Boy, it looks dry, doesn't it? Like not that good dry either. Hey, you guys recognize this dude? I started watching this trailer and was like, oh, he's a Skrull.
The guy that's playing
Bob Marley.
Yeah,
it's the dude from
Ravik.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen this trailer.
This is a licensed trailer, by the way. A movie. It has the real songs in it.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It looks interesting.
I like Bob Marley, dude.
I do too. I'm a fan.
One love. All right, Buffalo Soldier. 3, 2, 1, play. Right here. Oh yeah. Like, dude, this dude's hot right now. He's on the new Marvel show. He's playing Bob Marley. He's high. He died from toe cancer? That's fucked up.
I know.
Toe cancer.
We're jamming, dude.
Love, cash, and grass. Oh. I didn't know it got that serious. Why you dressed like the dude from Testify?
Mm.
Damn, I know he got shot up.
Exodus.
That's a great record.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah, it's so good.
Dude. It's one track. It's a goddamn shame that Bob Marley died, man. Cause
I know.
It's cool he's getting a biopic. That chick it keeps showing is the one from Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She looks familiar. He's like, okay. There you go. I'll tell you one thing I don't like. When it comes to Bob Marley's music, you ain't got to remix it.
No.
I'll be putting a spin on it.
No.
Drop the beat.
That Exodus album is fucking incredible, dude. It's been a while since I've listened to it, but Jesus Christ, man.
You just play it and let it run, and it's like you just you can't help but move. You're like listening to it, like damn, these motherfuckers figured it out.
If you listen to Bob Marley and you in a bad mood, something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Dude. Something wrong, dude. Oh man.
Everywhere. We finally get a trailer, dude. It seems like they've been teasing this movie for 18 years.
Yeah.
Remember the teaser? This is a real trailer.
Okay.
It's got people in it. Remember the last one was like a hallway and a TV screen. It was like, dude, that was like around COVID.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Hot minute. They were like the writer's strike. It's like it's fucking based on a game. How much you got to write? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right?
Shitty game with that. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. better be good. Oh, it's that guy and that guy. I never trusted him. Since Scream. I feel like the Five Nights at Freddy's hype is dead now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
And they got the guy from Hunger Games. Or it's going to be good because I kind of like where this is going. Nah. Wow. There's some Pennywise shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Works as a game because it has jump scares. I don't know about a movie.
I mean, I'm gonna check it out, but
Just to see.
yeah, I mean, you know.
Dude, you're going to check this out. I watched like the first 10, 15 seconds. I was like, Office.
Okay.
But like, not just Office, like, I'm going to need you to come in.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
All right.
Exodus.
Dude.
Okay.
Airware. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. I fuck with that Marley shit. Oh.
What? Oh God.
Mm. I like to do that to people.
Yeah.
The Room. Somebody watched Severance.
Yeah.
No, there's a room. He's straight up QAnon, ain't he?
Yeah.
There's a room. I wonder if this is a show. fucking paycheck. What's everybody else want? That looks wild. He said you're a what column on a spreadsheet? Did you hear him?
Yeah, he said you're just a column on
Just a
a
column?
spreadsheet. Yeah.
Sheesh.
It looks good.
It does. Something different coming from him, that's for sure.
Yeah. It says in theaters, on digital, and on demand August the 4th.
I'll have it.
So, yeah. Let me throw that on the pile. I cannot wait for this movie to come out.
Speaking of this
It's
movie,
it's going to be like 6 hours long, but still.
Mr. Scorsese called what's his name? Ari Aster. What's his name? Guy directed Beau. Ari Aster, right? Aster.
Ari Aster, yeah.
Something like that. He said he congratulated him and he was like, "You're one of the top filmmakers like under 40."
Damn.
Like, you
Hell
know,
yeah.
and he was like, that was huge for me because
Yeah.
Scorsese, you
Scorsese,
know?
yeah, of course, you know.
And he is a beast. He appreciated his contribution. But yeah,
Well.
let's watch Leo win another Oscar.
Yeah, for real.
3, 2, 1, play. I'm already sold. This looks amazing.
Yeah.
Easy now. Mm. You will always be the guy in Breaking Bad that shot the kid.
Yeah. Todd?
Todd. Mm-hmm. I like how DiCaprio here has repurposed his Once Upon a Time accent.
Yeah.
It's the same one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Scorsese
fucking
probably
Dalton.
told him, "Hey, bring that
Yeah.
shit back. That shit's good."
Bring Rick back. Rick
Hashtag.
fucking Dalton. Yeah. Bring
It's like,
Rick
I'll
back.
fucking kill you when he's talking.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it. I've been there. Get mad at yourself sometime. Look at
So
this.
yeah.
Where did this come from?
Yeah. I thought he was working on Gladiator 2.
Well, y'all aren't ready for this.
I mean,
I'll
I'm
tell you
afraid
who's
he's
not
all over
afraid. It's Napoleon.
no.
Oh, he is not. This trailer's balling, dude.
All right.
Damn, this, I love a good period. Yeah. Hi. Director Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Had no idea this was happening. Let's peep it. 3, 2, 1, play. Beautiful. I'm gonna full screen it. Shame. Damn, looks like Paris now.
Yeah, right.
Only it's missing that. Oh hell, he went
Jesus
after his own
Christ.
people. Damn, that dude's such a good actor, man. Yeah, we know. Haircut doesn't make sense. Nobody had their hair cut like that then. And if they did, it had a wig on it. It's a lie. Dude, he went all the way. That is greatness.
Fuck them pyramids.
Yeah. Shoot the top off, you know? This is going to be a nice one. We haven't had this story told. Look, they made it look shorter by all the big hats. That'd work better as a show. Really.
Yeah.
Something I'll be watching. I like how did Napoleon? Where was he from?
He was from France, right?
Well, he didn't just talk like that then, did he?
No.
It's just Joaquin like, what's going on in the next room? Like, you know what I mean? It's just him being him with his like low and slow. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Napoleon didn't sound like that. If it was Johnny Depp, he would do a voice. I think that's his thing, though. He's like, I don't do voices. I do my voice. He looks mean in the hat, dude. It'll win something. It's time. You guys ready?
It's
No, you're not.
Wait. Why does it say from an accredited U.S. healthcare educator?
I don't know. I saw that too, but
What does that mean? Okay.
send feedback.
National Academy of Medicine.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, there's no joke I could make that'd be okay. Let's just move along.
Yeah, let's.
I can't.
Yeah. All right.
T-Series. 3, 2, 1, play.
T-Series. Mm-hmm.
Turn the subtitles on. Because this dude's coming out. Look, he's mad, dude. Huh? Do they have eagles there? That was an eagle.
They do now.
Yeah. No. No rain. This guy's going to show up. He's going to beat the rain up. He'll beat the dry land.
It's Jason Momoa.
No, dude. It's Jason. It's Wason. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Violence. Wason, whoa, whoa, yeah. Violence. Strong women. Because their history's been full of them. Ah, you will lick the shit off my booty.
Mm-hmm.
Just beating random people. Dude, if I was over there, I'd be like, I don't know what's happening, dude, but wah, wah, wah. Dude, forehead to the chest. It makes the same sound every time he punches someone. Dude, even the it's the same sound. That one was a little deeper because he hit 4 dudes. Okay. Dude, if I was the hero there, I'd be like, you better calm down. You already got 1 red dot on your forehead.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
How long do you think that movie is?
3 hours.
It's 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Yeah. Really, it's 3.
Yeah.
In our time. Like, you know what I mean? Because,
Right.
you know, it's just going to be, damn. They just be fucking popping them out over there. They don't give a fuck. They're just like, make them. Some guy comes in there, have this idea where a guy, yes,
Yeah.
let me finish. Make it.
Yeah.
Here's
Make it.
fucking $1 million. Got a little teaser here. Is this real?
Yeah, this dropped today.
Oh.
And so this is
This
Godzilla
is the Japanese
official.
version.
Yeah.
Okay.
-1. Godzilla -1.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Are they going to show him to us? Oh. Damn. I love it. Mm. Cheers to that. Oh, I can't wait for the trailer. Subscribe. Follow.
Bell.
Go 0. -1. Whoop. Guardians of the Galaxy. Travis, have you watched Guardians of the Galaxy yet?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could. I might rewatch it. I don't know if I'm ready.
I'm gonna watch it again.
I have to because I don't remember.
It was.
It's a good movie. It was just there was some parts that's like, man, damn.
Yeah. It was
beat up piece of meat.
rough.
Like sad,
Yeah.
dude.
But it was good though. Like it was well made.
Very.
So, but yeah, I'm down with that.
Guardians episode 4
Secret Invasion
next week.
Oh yeah.
Fucking the scrolls in the mail.
Yeah, hit it.